Can you imagine being a governor of a state and you're losing your own state to Donald Trump? Wow. When that happens, maybe it's just time to get out of the race, Ron DeSantis. So let's get into this, y'all. Ron DeSantis is trying to persuade voters in Iowa. I guess they're just not feeling you, Ron DeSantis. They're just not feeling you. But they certainly are looking to Donald Trump. Well, you know what? I knew something was wrong when he made that trip back in the spring to Washington, D.C., and he couldn't even get endorsements from his Congress and senator of Florida. That should say a lot right there. You know, that should say a lot when the representatives of your state won't even back you. So he's been struggling to try to get people in Iowa and New Hampshire, and he's failing. He's failing also in his own state. From polls to interviews with party activists and elected officials across the state, there are an abundant sign Donald Trump would trounce the sitting governor if there was a primary. So, although he is the governor, Ron DeSantis look like he's going to lose in his own state. On Saturday, increasingly bitter feud between two Florida men resumed. About 1,500 activists at a Republican candidate forum in Orlando to twist the knife. Trump's camp rolled out endorsements from a handful of the state legislators who previously backed the governor. So they were backing, this is the state level, and they are switching over to Donald Trump. DeSantis supporters flooded the room for his early afternoon speech, greeting him with booming applause, with waving signs. Florida is DeSantis country. Oh boy. The candidate didn't mention Trump by name, but mocked those who talk a big game, adding, but you're not ultimately winning elections and ultimately winning the big policy fights. That's what he claims. But Ron DeSantis is the one losing in his own state. Hours later, Trump came out to even more of a reception, a video screen before him declaring Florida is Trump country, and called onto the stage his new legislator supporters. While going to win the state in a landslide, Trump said, we're going to win the state in a landslide next November, he predicted. Just a year ago, DeSantis was the hottest thing in Republican politics nationally, coming off a stunning reelection victory built on his handling of the pandemic, conservative policies. He cast himself as a more effective and winning version of the former president. But DeSantis has faded because his campaign missteps have been great, including a decision to attack Trump from his right flank, which alienated moderate Republicans without peeling off Trump supporters. Meanwhile, Republicans everywhere have been rallying around Donald Trump in response to his multiple criminal indictments. The Trump operation has bludgeoned Ron DeSantis with more than $21 million in attack ads across the country. Well, I don't believe Ron DeSantis have even a fighting chance of beating Donald Trump. I really don't. He just don't poll well at all. they said the entire time when the debates happen, he's always like third, fourth place in the debates. And he just don't have such a great personality. It just doesn't come off that way. Like some people call him the Satan. Additional reasons are evident in Florida. Both state and he and Trump can take credit for molding into America's GOP hotspot, including a years long takeover of the Republican infrastructure by Trump allies and aloof personal style of DeSantis that have left some elected officials feeling neglected. I've had zero communication whatsoever with him, despite the fact that on multiple occasions, I've tried to establish a line of communication, said U.S. Rep. Greg Steuben, who is like the Florida GOP congressional delegation is behind Trump. That's what he's saying. Some GOP mega donors with ties to Florida who once saw DeSantis as the best chance to defeat Trump have been repelled by the governor's position over the last year, including his fight with Walt Disney Company, the signing of a 6-week ban, ban, and his characterization of the Russia war with Ukraine. And for his part, Trump is hammering the central complaint that his endorsements of DeSantis in his 2018 run for governor was crucial. And for DeSantis to now seek the presidency is an act of unforgivable disloyalty. He made a mistake in challenging Trump. He should have waited until 2028. This is one of the GOP delegates. That's what they're saying. Mm-mm-mm. So the Florida Republican Assembly group of 5,000 members have mounted a phone and email campaign demanding DeSantis bow out. These are people in his own state telling him to get out of the race. And they are Republicans, just like Ron DeSantis. We love the governor, but we're asking him to come back and do his job and not go against Trump. That is like suicide. DeSantis and his allies say it's time to climb back. The governor will win his home state because Floridians want to see a fighter who will bring the same type of results to Washington, D.C. So, in other words, make Washington, D.C. look just like Florida. I don't think too many people are enthused about that. So those are his supporters saying that. But he has lost a lot of his support along the way during his run. That's why there are people that are saying they believe Ron DeSantis is ultimately going to drop out. Now, I think he is going to drop out, but it may not be until 2024. He may try to hang on until the end of this year, but I really believe sometime in 2024 he's going to drop out of the race because he's just not going to have support. And if you don't even have your own state, that's like a political black eye right there for him. So, what y'all think about this video about the Satan? His own people in the GOP is telling him to get out of the race, and he should never have tried to run for president with Donald Trump also being part of the candidates that's running. So it looks like Florida is leaning Trump and not DeSantis. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.